Okay, sorry about that. My mom called me. So again, Unit 7, Day 5, Part 2. Okay, so we just gone over the mean, right? Basically, add up all the numbers and divide it by how many numbers you got. You should have got 7. Okay, and the next is this one. What symbol is that for again? The standard deviation. Okay, and the way we're going to do that is, again, use the calculator. Type this in for one column, the probability in for another, and then do all that big mumbo jumbo. Okay? So here, right? Again, if you have stuff, again, erase it because it's going to cause problems later. Um, I was doing it over here, and when you type in, let's say we have a certain value of x's, and then you type in x, it will change everything, all the numbers. Okay, same thing if you change, if you use p again, if you don't change it, it'll change everything. Okay, so best thing, just press x so you can start all over. Okay, now let's type them in. 2, 3, 4, 7, and the probabilities, right? So that's going to be our second column, probabilities. 1 out of 36, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 36, 6, and it starts going down, right? So the first one was 1 out of 36, 2 out of 36, 3 out of 36, and so forth. Now, probability of 8 was 5 out of 36, and it is to start decreasing, right? So 5 out of 36, and so forth. Right here, that was 5 out of 36, 4 out of 36, 11. I lost count. I lost track. 11 was 2 out of 36. So 11 was 2, 36, and then 1, 6. So all of them should be decreasing and then increasing. Okay. So again, make sure you click the X and you only have one. Right now we can label this as your X, and we can label this one as our Y. Okay, X, Y. Do we have everything? Both probabilities. Yep. So now we need to find the standard deviation of the X, right? Standard deviation of X. So again, this is yesterday's lesson. So menu, stats calc, 2 variable stats. Okay, 2 variable stats. So first X list would be the original, your X values. Your Y would be the probabilities. Okay, don't forget this next one. This one is very important. You forget this one, you'll get the question wrong. The frequency, that's going to be the probability list, right? Enter, right? And then you go down 2.45, 415, right? So the standard deviation is 2.415. Oh, sorry, I got the wrong pen. 2.415. Okay, everyone should be good with that. Okay, now today's lesson, linear transformation, right? So what would happen if the X values, you sum up the two dice, right? So these are the sums of the two dice, but we add 8. So what would that mean now? Okay, so how would this affect your mean and the standard deviation? So let's first do the mean, right? So the mean, right? The mean of X, but we're adding 8. The mean of X, that's what we got over here, but you're adding 8. So what are you going to do? So all these values, you're going to add 8 to each of them, and then you're going to find the mean from all those. You add them up, divided by the number, and you should get 15. You should have gotten 15. Okay? So what are you really doing? Right? You're just taking your mean from the last one. So mean of x, which was 7, and then you just add an 8 from there, and that's how you got the 15. Okay, there's a little shortcut, there's a little formula right there, right? Your expected value, and you're adding a certain value plus c, that's a plus 8 part. So you're taking your old expected value and then you're just adding it at the very end. Okay, now let's do the standard deviation. Standard deviation of your x. Okay, but now it's going to be for the new values. Okay, for the new values. So all these x's, you're changing. You're adding 8. So how could we do that in the calculator? Okay, so your probabilities are going to stay the same, but these x values are going to change. We're adding 8 to them. So let's go over here, right? So this is for the old problem. Okay, now these probabilities right here, we're keeping the same. So we can have the same p. We don't need to rewrite p, right? But these x values, we're adding 8. Okay, so scroll over till you get a new spot. Okay, so it's gonna be on the equal one, we're gonna be taking our x value and we're adding 8, right? You click enter, right? X plus 8, you click enter, column reference, yep. Whoa, what do we do? Oh, sorry guys, it's not that one. It's your column A. So right here, column A, and you're adding 8. Column A, that's our first column. There you go. Column, right there. Column A, you're adding 8. So if you add 8, that should be 10. If you add 8, 11, 12, and so forth, right? Let's check them. 10, 11, 12, so forth. Okay, this is going to be our new x value, right? Don't type in x because it's going to erase all our data. We're going to type this as double x. Okay, so this is our new x value, which is labeled double x, and then our probabilities would be p. Okay, so now do the same thing as we did before to find standard deviation, right? Menu, stats calculation, 2 variable stats. So our x value is going to be our new one, our double x, right? But the probability is still going to stay the same, which is p. Don't forget to change the frequency. Okay, so again, our new one is our double x. Okay, the p will stay the same probability. The only thing we're changing is our x variable. So the new one is labeled double x. Enter. So our new standard deviation would be 2.415. Okay, so we come over here. Our new standard deviation is 2.415. But what do you notice? Those two values are exactly the same. So what does that mean? That means that for standard deviation, if we're changing all the values by a constant number, so we add 8 to all of them, our standard deviation does not change. But our mean would change. So again, make that little note. No. When adding or subtracting a value to all x's, the mean changes, but the standard deviation does not change. Okay? Does not change. So we come over here, right? The mean, right? This right here is our mean. The expected value, the average mean, that one changes by the constant. So you add 8, that's how we got the 15. But the standard deviation, that's our standard deviation, right? when you add a certain value, it's going to be the same standard deviation, right? So the mean changes, but the standard deviation um, stays the same. Okay, the mean variable stays the same. Okay, are we okay with that? So that's when we're adding or subtracting, right? There's a little symbol, adding or subtracting. So now on this next one, we're doing two dice, the sum of two dice times 3. Okay, now we're adding, or now we're multiplying and dividing, right? We're multiplying by 3, right? So our x value, our original x value, we are multiplying by 3. Our original x value, our first x, not the double x, the first x. Okay, so what does that mean about our mean, and what does that mean about the standard deviation? Well, our mean of 3x, right? That's our mean, right? So we're taking the original one and we're multiplying it by 3. What does that mean about the new mean? Well, it's going to be the old mean, right? Which is 7, and all you're doing is just multiplying it by the new value, 3, which is 21. So that should be our new answer, 21. Over here, if we're adding 8, we'll take our old value and we're adding 8. So the mean, basically, you're just changing it depending on what operation you're doing. Okay, the new standard deviation, so the standard deviation, okay, of our new value, so it's going to be 3x, but technically that's wrong. So our new standard deviation of x, so we need to type into the calculator. So again, your x variables, you're multiplying it by 3 this time. You're times in it by 3. So let's come over here. So we're not taking the double x, we're taking the original x value. Okay, so again, remember, it's column A. So we come over here, so we have a free open space. Okay, so we're taking column A, so A, and we're multiplying it by 3. Column A, that's our original x value. Okay, so does that make sense? So 2, and you multiply them by 3, that should be 6, times by 3, 9, 12, and so forth. Does the new values cover that? 3, 9, 12, and so forth, right? So we're going to label this one as triple x, okay? Because we already have a double x, right? So this is going to be triple x. We're multiplying by 3. What happens with the probability? Does the probability stay the same? Yes. All we're doing is multiplying the x values. The probability still stays the same. Okay, so we can still use our original p in the calculator. Okay, so do the same thing as we've been doing before in standard deviation. So we're going to go to menu. Next one, go to stats, stats calculation, and 2 variable stats. Hopefully this is becoming easy to you there to remember the steps, right? So our new x list. Okay, so we have 3 different possible x values, right? We're doing the newest one, right? When we're multiplying it by 3. So triple x, the probability, again, stays the same. And the frequency list, well, obviously it stays the same. Okay, so this is for our new one, for our triple x. And the new standard deviation is 7.24. So our new standard deviation will be 7.245. You want to be more specific. Okay, so how do we get this number? How do we get that number? Well, if you look over here, here's a shortcut, right? So the variation of 3 times the original x value would be a to a cubed, or a squared, I mean, times the standard deviation, right? So right here, this right here is equal to 3 times the original standard deviation of x. 3 times the original standard deviation of x. So if you go back to our original, standard deviation would be 2. So the original standard deviation was 2.415, and you're multiplying it by 3. You're multiplying it by 3, and that should give you our new answer. So again, guys, for when you're multiplying, right, you're just simply multiplying the mean, right, the expected value. You're just multiplying it. Okay, if you're adding, you're just adding it. Okay, when you're multiplying, you need to square it and then multiply it. Okay. No, this is wrong. You're supposed to only multiply it. So just a times var x. Sorry, guys. So you're just multiplying it once. Okay, you're not squaring it, you're just multiplying it once. Okay. Again, guys, this equation was wrong. It's a by itself. Okay, you're not you're not squaring it and then multiplying. Okay, so you're taking the original, multiplying by 3, and boom, that should be your answer. Okay, so I want you guys to do the rest of the packet. Don't forget to clear out your calculator. Okay, don't forget to clear out your calculator before you type in new values. Okay, all right, guys. Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Okay, TGIF. Hopefully, you guys are understanding these. All right, bye, guys.